Thank you for taking the time. Secretary Hegseth was asked how much of Iran's nuclear capability has been degraded in this war, but he really didn't answer. What's your understanding of that aspect?
Well, later today, I have a classified briefing where I'll be able to press for more answers. As we all know, President Trump claims that Operation Midnight Hammer, the strikes on Iran's nuclear program last year, obliterated it, but that is likely to be untrue. And so I'm gravely concerned that the administration is preparing for a very risky special operation to try and send American and Israeli troops into some of Iran's heavily fortified and protected nuclear enrichment sites. This would be a very risky next step in this already risky war with Iran.
The White House has offered mixed messaging on this war since the beginning. And yesterday, the president delivered a mixed message in one single answer about the war's timeline. Watch.
You've said the war is, quote, very complete, but your defense secretary says this is just the beginning. So which is it, and how long should Americans be prepared?
Well, I think you could say it
both.
both. We could call it a tremendous success right now as we leave here. I could call it, or we could go further, and we're going to go further.
Senator, what does that answer tell you?
It tells me that they didn't have a plan. Before you launch a major war, you should have a clear plan. You should have asked the American people and their representatives here in Congress for authorization, and you should build a coalition of allies to go to war with you. They did none of these. They are now asking our European allies to make sure they're supporting us with overflight and basing and fighting alongside us. They're trying to persuade our Gulf allies to join us in striking Iran. Typically, that's more wisely done before the war of choice is launched, not 10 days into it. And so President Trump gives answers out of both sides of his mouth in the same day, partly to influence oil prices, partly to keep our allies guessing, and I think largely to try and keep our enemies on their back foot. I also think right now the clearest winner from this war in Iran is Russia. It's stunning that President Trump is on the phone with Vladimir Putin and spending more time consulting with him than he is with Congress and the American people.
You just laid out so much there about lack of planning, lack of making the case to the American people, potential implications in other countries like Russia. This war is costing Americans roughly $1 billion a day. Congress expects the White House to ask for more funding for this soon. As the ranking member of the Senate subcommittee that funds the Pentagon, are you willing to provide that money?
Well, look, we first have to count the cost in terms of Americans' lives lost. There are 7 American service members so far, Ana, who've been killed in this war. And we shouldn't move to the financial cost without first counting the human cost. There's been lots of civilian deaths throughout the region, including tragically hundreds of schoolgirls in Tehran in an incident where it may have been the result of a U.S. strike against an IRGC Navy base that went awry. And we have to be mindful of the cost to Americans' pocketbooks as well, because the price of gas is already going up and will almost certainly go higher. But yes, I'm expecting some supplemental request from the administration, from the Pentagon. I have no details on it so far. But my first ask of them will be, tell us what you've done and what you're doing with the enormous amounts of money that Republicans gave to the Pentagon through the reconciliation bill, the so-called big, beautiful bill last year. There was $25 billion in there that was supposed to be for munitions. When the administration and Republicans here in Congress cut hundreds of billions of dollars out of health care and nutrition assistance for Americans to give a big tax cut for billionaires and give more money to the Pentagon, we should have an accounting of how that money is being spent and why they need more before we consider any additional request. And last, frankly, the American people deserve a public address from the president explaining the scope and cost of this war and how he's going to prevent it from just metastasizing into a lengthy, expensive regional war where the losers are going to be our partners and allies, and the winners are likely to be Russia and their allies, Iran and China.
So just quickly, a yes or no answer. If you don't get all of that, if you don't get that from the president or the answers you want from the Pentagon, would you approve more war funding?
I would vote no unless we can get those guarantees and those answers.
Senator Chris Coons, thank you very much for being with us this morning.
Thank you,
We appreciate
Ana.
your time. Still ahead, Iran